Coming up right now on SUTV News, SHIP takes a stand against domestic violence and sexual assault.
And the Career Center offers new ways to keep you informed about getting a job in your field.
It's all right now.
And thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Laquan Chapman.
And I'm Holly Harrer. The Career Center is amping up their services and programs and are hosting a career clinic on Monday. Students can stop by for free pizza and learn about the services the Career Center has to offer. The Career Center information table will be open from 10 to 2 and will host a workshop about how to get the most out of a job fair. The workshop is in Room 108 from 12:10 to 1 o'clock. Students can register for the Career Clinic at ship.edu/career. Under the Events tab, you will find other available workshops as well. The Career Center can be reached by emailing career@ship.edu or by calling 717-477-1484. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and the Women's Center is having a photo contest to help raise awareness. Amanda Trievel has the story.
The Women's Center is taking a stand against domestic violence and is having a photo contest, but not just any photo contest. It encourages students to use social media and to pledge to end domestic violence.
The No More Photo Contest is really just a PR campaign to get students involved with the National No More campaign for the bystander intervention, and making sure that we as bystanders during domestic violence and sexual assault are not just standing by, but making sure that we stand up for the victims.
Those taking the pledge promise to not commit nor tolerate any form of domestic violence or sexual assault. We say no more to standing by when an incident occurs. We can make a difference. This is the first year SHIP has participated in the No More Photo Contest.
If we get a large plethora amount, then we will turn our website more into a gallery option, because it's really about, like, winning is showing your support. The real prize is when a victim or someone that knows a victim is looking for resources, and then they go to our No More page and they see that there are so many community members, so many diverse community members, from athletics, students, staff, faculty, that are holding these signs saying that we support you.
According to a lecture, there is a statistic domestic violence is felt by 1 in 3 women. Many students hold this topic close to their hearts and have already taken the pledge to end domestic violence. 2 sisters pledge in honor of their mother and grandmother.
Talking about a subject that I'm very passionate about is talking about domestic violence and sexual assault, and I'm really against it, so I just want to make awareness about the subject. I am very passionate as well, and also since I have a family background from people who suffer from domestic violence, I also was very attached to the topics.
The photo contest runs until October 31st. The No More signs are available outside of room 230 in the Cub or Horton Hall. To submit your photos, go to the Women's Center at ship.edu or upload to Twitter and tag at SU Women's Center with hashtag #ShipSaysNoMore. We have already taken a stand against domestic violence, and now it's your turn. For SUTV, I'm Amanda Trievel.
If you or anyone you know is a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault, don't wait. The SHIP No More webpage offers resources to SHIP students in need of help. You can also contact the Women's Career Center or the Women's Center for more information at womenscenter@ship.edu. On behalf of SUTV, Laquan and I would like to formally take the pledge to end domestic violence. So let's take our selfie. Like Amanda mentioned, you can take the pledge by grabbing a sign, snapping a selfie, and tagging SU Women's Center. Don't forget to hashtag #ShipSaysNoMore.
If you are looking for a new book to read, why not get a free sample before you buy? On Thursday, October 23rd, Shippensburg University welcomes authors Jen Hurt, Aaron Kelly, and Kara Kelsey as they hold a public reading to share their new work. Kelsey and Hurt are both professors and published authors, but Kelly is making her publication debut. The reading begins at 6:30 p.m. in Old Main Chapel. It is free and open to the public. For more information, contact Neil Connolly at noconnolly@ship.edu. Coming up on SUTV News, John Schaefer is in the studio to give us our weekly dose of world news.
And Eder Health Center has ways to avoid the flu and other illnesses as the temperature drops. It's coming up next.
As cold weather approaches, so does cold and flu season. Tyler Baldwin has more on staying healthy this time of year.
The changing leaves and bundled up students is a sure sign winter is coming. According to nurses at Eder Healthcare Center, located on the bottom floor of McLean 2, it's never too late to start preparing for those seasonal sniffles or flu-like symptoms.
One of the first things that I think everyone should be thinking about is getting a flu shot. And we actually just had our first flu clinic about a week ago. We had a pretty good response. We had it over in the Cub, and we had it for 3 days. And now the next one that's coming up will be at the Cub again, and it'll be on the 28th, 29th, and 30th of this month.
Eder Health Center has a wide variety of other services offered to students. These services include appointments with a doctor or nurse, lab testing, STD testing, and even a self-care service, all covered by your health fee.
And self-care is mainly a service that provides over-the-counter medications for minor colds and illnesses. And you don't have to see a doctor or nurse. You just sign a consent form that you realize you're not asking to see a doctor or nurse, and you can go in and choose whatever medications you would like.
To schedule an appointment, students can either call the health center or stop in during regular hour times from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
We strongly encourage students to come over between 9 and 4:30 during the daytime, because that's when the doctor's here, so that if you're having any kind of problem and a nurse sees you, we can still get you fitted in with the doctor so he can follow up with whatever that problem is.
Tyler Baldwin, SUTV News.
Mainly just call over.
Beat the odds this cold and flu season and do your part to stay healthy. Eder has all your health services and is on the bottom floor of McLean 2. The day has finally come. Tomorrow, 5 SHIP students, along with former Cumberland Commissioner Rick Ravino, depart for an 18-day hike up in the Himalayan mountains. These students, along with guide Tenda Sherpa, a 10-time Mount Everest climber, will experience a trip of a lifetime. They will return to Shippensburg in mid-November, and SUTV will have an exclusive interview with some of the students about their adventure.
From a Penn State prankster to a smartphone with a pointless price, John Schaefer is here with World News in 90 seconds.
Thanks, guys. Here's a look at this week's World News. Now, many of us at college have been getting a kick out of the anonymous app Yik Yak lately, but one Penn State student has taken the app's use a bit too far. 20-year-old Zhang Shim, a sophomore at Penn State University, used Yik Yak to send death threats to other students. He said through the app that he would bring assault rifles to the Student Union building and kill every student at Penn State's main campus. Police used the app to track down Shim at his off-campus apartment. Now, police found no weapons at Shim's apartment. Shim admitted to making the post and told police that it was all a prank. Two nations in the East are growing closer and closer. Russia and China have been making deals with one another, and the culture of each region is spreading. Tea shops in Moscow are now filled with Chinese decor, and Russian students are starting to learn Chinese instead of English. Trade between the two countries has increased and is expected to go up even more. The revenue of trade between Russia and China is around $90 billion. In the next 3 years, however, that figure is estimated to rise to around $200 billion. This leaves the West worried about its involvement with the two nations. Are you looking for a smartphone? Do you also have $250,000 to spend? If so, this is the phone for you. It's being called the world's most expensive phone and is catching the eyes of the rich very quickly. Encased in white gold and encrusted with real diamonds, covered then in leather, the Savelli smartphone has the biggest price tag around. The smartphones run on the Android system and are currently only available in Europe. Savelli is hoping to produce them globally if the first run of models catches on. Well, that's all for your world news this week. Let's send it back to the desk.
Don't go away. Still to come on SUTV News, Hunter Wolf has your 5-day forecast.
And Alexis Hillard has news that would have any California girl circling.
It's all after the break. Middle of October, and still I find myself wearing t-shirts and shorts to class. Hunter Wolf is here to tell us when it's finally going to feel like fall.
We might be coming off a week of heavy showers, but a week of sunshine is coming up. Tonight's forecast calls for mostly cloudy skies and a low of 49. There's a chance of rain overnight, but it should clear up significantly by tomorrow. Friday will be mostly sunny and have a high of 67 for the day, and be prepared for some heavy gusts. As high as 22 miles per hour can be expected. Friday night will be partly cloudy with a low of 50. Let's take a look at the weekend. Saturday will be partly sunny with a high of 63. We're going to see some heavy gusting then as well. Saturday night will be mostly cloudy with a low of 43. The sunshine is going to continue through Sunday, but that high is going to drop from the high 60s to the mid 50s. We're really starting to see fall weather in full swing. Sunday night will be partly cloudy with a low of 37. We're going to see that weekend sunshine continue into Monday with a high of 57 for the day. Monday night, however, we'll see some showers. Skies will be mostly cloudy with a low around 40 for the evening. On Tuesday, you can expect some showers to break up the weekend's nice weather. There will be a high near 56 for the day and a slight chance of showers. And finally, Tuesday night will be mostly cloudy with a low of 39. That's your weather for the week. Now let's go to Alexis with everything you need to know on the Beach Boys and Angry Clowns.
Turning gears to campus entertainment, Ernie Haas and the Signature Sound, known for world-over harmonious performances, will perform at the Lord Center tomorrow at 8 p.m. Signature Sound is comprised of baritone singer Doug Anderson, lead singer Devin McGlamory, and bass singer Paul Harkey. They are currently on tour with Broadway legend J. Mark McVeigh. Tickets cost range from $22 to $35. This unique ensemble of vocalists is here for one night only, so act quickly if you're interested. The Beach Boys will also perform at the Lord Center next Saturday, October 25th at 7:30 p.m. The pop band has sold tens of millions of albums and changed the musical landscape for every act that has followed them. Tickets for the show are still available, and students, don't forget about your discount. Visit the Lord Center box office for more details. Speaking of theater, Broadway star Neil Patrick Harris had a busy 2014 starring in the movies Gone Girl and A Million Ways to Die in the West. He will host the Oscars on February 22nd. Last year's host Ellen DeGeneres took a selfie that became the most retweeted picture of all time on Twitter. Will Harris be able to live up to this? We'll have to wait and see. Professional clowns clubs are up in arms over the latest season of American Horror Story Freak Show. The FX series, which features a serial killer clown named Twisty, has some real world clowns saying it's contributing to clown fear. Glenn Kohlberger, president of Clowns of America International, the nation's largest club of clowns, said, "Hollywood makes money off essentializing the norm they can take any situation, no matter how good or pure, and turn it into a nightmare." Do you think Twisty is scary? Sound off on our Facebook and Twitter pages. The late comedian Joan Rivers' cause of death was released today. Rivers died of complications following a procedure to evaluate her vocal changes and acid reflux. According to the New York Medical Examiner, she died September 4th at the age of 81. 1 week after her surgery, the Yorkville Endoscopy Clinic in New York. That's all we have in store for entertainment this week. Back to Holly and Laquan at the desk.
Don't go away. Chris Eckstein has your Raider Roundup.
Sports is next.
15 catches, another multi-touchdown game, another record tied, and a 42-24 win over Lock Haven. That's how wide receiver Trevor Harmon spent his Saturday. Harmon has been named this week's PSAC East Offensive Player of the Week after tying the conference record with 58 career receiving touchdowns. He's tied with Westchester's Mike Washington. Saturday, the Red Raiders head to Westchester, where Harmon could move into sole possession of first place. He's certainly making a name for himself, but two of the Red Raiders' greatest players of all time, Brent Grimes and John Kuhn, were teammates in the early 2000s. Grimes, a spry cornerback, and Kuhn, a hard-nosed fullback, both played here at Ship and went on to play in the NFL. This past Sunday, they faced off as Grimes' Miami Dolphins played host to Kuhn's Green Bay Packers. The Packers edged the Dolphins in a 27-24 win with help from John Kuhn on the final drive. Kuhn, who finished the game with 4 carries for 15 yards, says in college he thought Brent Grimes was the greatest athlete he'd ever seen. Grimes finished Sunday's game with 7 tackles and says he's not surprised by John Kuhn's success. Neither player was taken in the NFL draft, but both are nearing 10 years in pro football. Now moving away from the gridiron, let's check out some other Raider scores with this week's Raider Roundup. Tuesday, field hockey upset number 1 Millersville 2-1 on the road. Millersville edged Ship 1-0 at the beginning of the season, if you can remember that far back. They'll head to Mansfield on Saturday. Both soccer teams fell to Westchester Tuesday at home, and both head to East Stroudsburg on Saturday. Volleyball heads to Lock Haven tomorrow to play at 7 p.m. and also plays at Pitt Johnstown on Saturday. And of course, football will have that road game at 2 p.m. You can tune in with our friends at WSYC on 88.7 for live coverage from Westchester. That wraps it up for little old me. I'll see you next week. I now send it back to the desk.
That's it for SUTV News. I'm Holly Harrer.
And I'm Laquan Chapman. Follow SUTV on Twitter and Instagram at SUTV News. And like our Facebook page. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.